And one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you is who to trust when it comes to finding a dealer, let alone it could be...
Don't trust anybody.
Today we're going to be discussing things to watch for when buying silver. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Stormy here. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals, so make sure you blast that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. Today we are talking about an important topic, things to watch for when you are buying silver. This also can be the same for gold, but pretty much things to watch for when you are buying your precious metals. So there's quite a few things that you should be doing when it comes to buying precious metals, whether it be researching, saving your money, setting budgets. There's a lot that goes into buying silver and gold. But there are some things that you should really do when it comes to actually buying your precious metals and who you are buying from. In fact, there's quite a few sources in which I source a lot of my precious metals for my personal stack and for my business. And I've shared a lot of these with you, one of which happens to be JM Bullion. JM Bullion happens to be sponsoring this channel. In fact, just in case you didn't know, I have a new link that is associated with JM Bullion, which I'm going to share with you right now. If you are looking to buy silver, gold, or other precious metals, then you're going to need to head over to jmbullion.com/empire. JM Bullion is one of the world's largest and most trusted online dealers of all things precious metals, currency, collectibles, and more. So again, check out jmbullion.com/empire or copy the link in the description. In addition to my affiliate link, JM Bullion is providing a special coupon, which is going to be available on Friday, April 29th, 5 p.m. Eastern for 48 hours. And you're going to have to type in the word Empire in order to receive $15 off an order of $300 or more. But wait, there's more. In addition to that code, I'm going to be giving away this 1-ounce Beskar bar. You're going to want to definitely stick around throughout this video as to what the code is that you're going to have to type for this Beskar bar in order to win it. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Stormy?
So listen, we've done a whole bunch of videos recently, and it's been a while since we've done a couple of new videos. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you is who to trust when it comes to finding a dealer, let alone it could be...
Don't trust anybody.
Don't trust anybody. And with that, we are done.
That's it. Time to go home.
So one of the things, I always tell people is always find a good local coin shop.
Yep.
In my opinion, it's very hard to beat the prices of a local coin dealer if you've built a good rapport with them.
Yeah, a lot of times, right. So I know that sometimes I'll get a bulk shipment in or sometimes like that, or I'll offer deals.
Yep.
Now and then, especially, a local coin shop, right? So everybody has a certain amount of funds to work with. I know that myself, when I get into a heavy buying, everybody seems to be selling all at the same time. I'm not impervious to this. My bankroll is only so big. So when I get into those situations, I need to make sure that I can stay fluid. In those times, sometimes I'll make an offer to somebody. Say, you know what, I'm sitting on this block of silver. Let's just unload it. I don't mean we're going to give it away, but I mean I can cut you a really good deal on it, better than I normally would.
Right.
Or anybody really be able to, because it's advantageous for me and it's good for you too. So.
And is that one of those situations too where you're able to do that deal because you have to get the cash in because you have another deal already lined up that you're going to buy? And
that's every dealer's biggest problem is no matter how big your bankroll is, at some point in time it's going to get real skinny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you're a good coin shop, you're going to have a good reputation. And there's times when it just seems like everybody's selling and nobody's buying. That's something that all of us coin dealers deal with at times, and the key is how to weather the storm. So, how we do it is we liquidate, and sometimes that right-away sales is more, it's a cash sale. It's right then and there, done.
Right.
Whereas if we ship things out, sometimes it's a week or two before we get paid.
Right.
So depending on how the tide is ebb or flow, but that's one way you can get a great deal on coins. The other thing too is, listen, if you establish a relationship with me, if something comes along, I'm going to think of you because we've done a lot of business. For you, example, I know that you like certain things.
Yeah.
I set them aside for you. If I only have one or two pieces that come in, I'm like, I know who's going to want these.
Right. Yeah. And that's another great thing too when it comes to, building that relationship.
Yeah.
you do start knowing the buying patterns. I mean, same for me too. Like the people on my auctions, I know different people, even though I don't have like a face-to-face, I do know week in and week out what they like to buy. Somebody pops in who I haven't seen in a while. I'm like, oh, that guy likes pandas. Let me quickly grab a panda out, pop it up there,
Yeah, you can cater to your audience because you know them.
Yes. Yep. So now when it comes to things to look for, or actually, let's put it this way, things to avoid when it comes to doing any sort of business with any sort of dealer, because there are dealers who are out there who will, I would say, take advantage of people who A, don't know any better or are brand new, or B, will sell stuff to people and just basically screw them.
Yeah, I've done that. I've also dealt with other dealers who were, quote, shading, and to respect that what came out of their mouth wasn't exactly what they ended up doing at the end of the deal, because they would say, okay, I'll sell this to you for X amount of dollars. And then you go to actually execute the deal, and then they're going to come back to, well, I meant X amount of dollars based off of ask price instead of bid. Or there's always some kind of caveat to the deal. If you're finding that happens frequently with your dealer or whoever it is that you're doing business with, probably not somebody I would want to do business with long term.
So you would say, like, if you make a deal, you lock in on that deal, stick to the deal.
Yep,
don't try to change the terms midway, or there's a big bump in the spot price. Don't go.
Or the other way around, right? So, and that's something I try to express to my clientele a lot is that, hey, listen, if we lock on it, say you call me on a weekend, but you can't get here for a day or two, and you're a good customer, you lock on the price because maybe we're in a dip. And let's say, 2 days later, the price jumps up significantly. I'm not going to say to you 2 days later, oh, the price went up, it's now more expensive.
Right.
Because it's also the inverse, right? So if I lock with somebody at X dollars and the price continues to fall, and say we're in the middle of that downward trend, I have to be a man of my word, and I have to do what I said I would do.
Right. Well, I was going to keep on going with Steve a little bit further. However, during the interview, some woman walked in and had a whole bunch of things she needed to sell to him, and it ended up taking 15-20 minutes at least with her taking one item out at a time. And I just said to Steve, I have to leave. I couldn't stand there any longer. It was driving me absolutely nuts, so I left. So I'm going to share with you some additional tips. So the first one, according to Steve, was the changing price on you. If you lock in on a price of silver or gold with the coin shop and they change the price because the spot price went up, that is no good. That's a no bueno. You want to stay away from that coin shop. The other thing I would say, the second thing that you want to consider is policy on returns. And I'm not saying when you go and you buy silver and then you decide, you know what, the price was too much and the next day's spot price dropped and you're going to go return it. You can't do that. But what I'm talking about is if there's an item, there's something's wrong with the item, or it's scratched, or God forbid you actually happen to buy an item that happens to not be real from a particular shop. And that's happened to me a couple of times. What's the policy in place of that coin shop or of the company? If they're willing to take the items back, no questions asked, then you know that they're going to be a decent place for you to do business with. If they tell you to go pound sand, then you know that they are not a reputable place and you want to stay away from them. Reputable places sometimes will get items in that happen to be fake, even if they have testing materials. If they have the different XRF machines or the Sigma Metalytics machines, it doesn't matter. Sometimes some of these local coin shops can get such an influx of various items in the door that they don't have the time to test every single item out. There could be a situation where you buy an item, you go home, and it turns out that the item happens to not be real. If you call the shop and they're willing to take it back, then you know that you can do business with them going forward and that there's something about them that you can trust. The other thing I would say, the third thing that you want to look for is willingness to teach. What is the willingness of the particular coin shop to teach you about particular items? I've been into a couple of coin shops when I first started stacking, and they could not be bothered with any questions. They knew I was new, and they didn't want to be bothered with anything I had to ask them, and I knew immediately I was not going to do business with them. If they do not have the time to share just a couple of quick answers to help educate me, and they were treated, if they're treating you or they treated me like they couldn't be bothered, like I was wasting their time, then I took my business elsewhere. So if they do that to you, then you know what? Then go somewhere else. There's plenty of other businesses who are willing to talk to you and help you learn. That's one of the great things about this hobby. Fourth thing I would say is if a coin shop is pushing you into buying products that you do not want or have no need for, I would say stay away from them as well. You can tell if you're going into a place and you're saying, can I buy silver? I'm really interested in silver. I want to buy these items. And they keep on pushing you to items that have nothing to do with what you were buying, like world gold coins or something like that. You know that they're just trying to push you into products that you don't want. They're trying to take advantage of you. You could generally tell. If they say, oh, you want to buy this silver instead because of these reasons or what have you, or they might say to you, hey, have you ever considered this type of silver because of these benefits? That's different. But if they're being really pushy and trying to get you to buy a particular product that you have no interest in, then I would say forget about them. Now, the fifth thing to look for when it comes to buying precious metals from a coin shop, I would say, is the time that they have been in business. Now, this is not an end-all be-all to decide whether or not they're reputable, but if the business has been in business for 30 years, 20 years, you know that they are going to be mostly reputable. You could also check their Google reviews, but I would say again, time in business definitely says something. And then the sixth and final thing I would say to look for when it comes to buying precious metals from a coin dealer is the equipment that they have to test their precious metals. When it comes to myself, I have the Sigma Metalytics machine. This thing has been, featured on a whole bunch. There goes Han Solo. A whole bunch of my videos. And I test my metals with this machine. But some of the coin shops, they'll have an XRF machine. And the XRF machine looks like almost like a microwave of sorts. It's a very expensive $25,000 machine, but it's very, very accurate. If you see these local coin shops that have invested money into these various items to test metals, you know that they're legit. If they are testing old school ways where they're filing stuff and using acid, it's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. The only problem is it damages your coins or your metals. And, technology has definitely come a long way from filing samples of precious metal and using acid and stuff like that. So I would say definitely you want to check for those things when it comes to buying precious metals. Last thing I would say for you to do, if you made it this far into the video, there is a comment I want you to place down below in the description, and that is, give me your Beskar bar. And that will qualify you in order to win this 1 ounce silver Beskar bar. You're going to then want to tune in on Tuesday the 3rd. That's May 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern on my live stream. And I will be selecting one of you from the comments below. And that lucky person is going to win this 1 ounce Beskar bar, courtesy of yours truly. Anyhow, did any of these tips throughout this video help you at all? Do you look for any of these things when you are shopping from your local coin shops? What are some of the things that you watch for when you are buying precious metals? Let us know in the comments down below. And I would like to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't already become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, this is Empire Precious Metals. Until next time, long live the Empire.